Hello, dear students. Can you hear me? It's Ataur Rahman. Welcome you all to live class of class 10 English past paper. Now we are in our class. It's your textbook English for today, classes 9 and 10. We are now at unit number 11, renewable energy. It's lesson 1, renewable energy sources 1. We have discussed it in previous class. Now we are going to read B from page number 140. You will find it if you open your text. If you open your text, you will find it at page number 140. Now, B. Read the text and answer the following questions. Here we are. So, I welcome you. My identity. Ataur Rahman, Senior Teacher of English, Motijheel Model School and College, Motijheel Branch, Motijheel Campus, Day Shift. Now, I ask all the students to be more attentive as we are in our class. So, welcome to you all, those who are viewing it, those who view it online, either guardians or students. All are welcome to your class. Information of class and lesson. Class 10, subject English first paper, unit 11, lesson 1. I am Ataur Rahman, today's class of 23 March 2021. Let's get started now. The same passage 1 you see on the screen. It's visible. I think everyone can read the passage from the screen. If not possible, you will look at your text so that you can read it. Shohan lives in a village in the southwest part of Bangladesh. Here we are going to read. So Shohan lives in a village in the southwest part of Bangladesh. We know Bangladesh to be a small country of Southeast Asia where we live, and our capital is Dhaka. Now we are going to the next part. Last night he could not sleep. His sister had her SSC exam next morning. She could not read either. So we find some difficulties of Shohan and her sister. There was load shedding. The reason we find here that they cannot read because of load shedding. Shohan cannot sleep and her sister cannot read because of load shedding. The summer night being very muggy and hot, life became hell without electricity. We know how difficult life becomes when electricity goes off. In our day-to-day life, we suffer because of load shedding. Load shedding terribly feel us how suffering it is. The summer night being very muggy and hot, life became hell without electricity. Most of the area remained dark for hours due to power shortage. It's the everyday occurrence in our country. We witness such sufferings and such problems every day. The problem becomes worse, especially in the night when we need electricity because of light and also for moving the fan or running AC. Most of their area remained dark for hours because of power shortage. In May, June, temperature shoots up to 40 degrees Celsius with almost 90% of humidity in the atmosphere. It became all wet, damp, and sticky. When you are busy fanning yourself all the time, how can you concentrate on studies? Actually, not possible or impossible. Concentration on studies becomes quite impossible if electricity goes off in a hot day or hot night. In the night, it is impossible to sit down to study with candlelight or a table lamp or a hurricane lamp or a rural kerosene lamp. Different types of lamp are mentioned here only to show how difficult life becomes, especially for students who study at such a night. People simply come out of houses almost bare-bodied because they can't tolerate the temperature. They open their body to get air and sit in the open places. Some splash cold water on their faces. Splash, splash. That means sprinkle. Fans remain unmoving because there is no electricity. Electric bulbs are off and it's dark everywhere. It's simply unbearable. What is the reason of frequent load shedding? Can you imagine? Can you tell reasons? You should find out reasons more than 10. You can find more than 10 numbers of reasons why load shedding occurs. Especially when production of power is less than the demand. Press reports say there is a shortage in electricity production. Production is less, demand is high, so load shedding occurs. According to the Power Development Authorities, the demand for electricity a few years ago was more than 6,000 MW megawatt a day, while the supply remained around 4,200 megawatt. So there is shortage of supply because of less production. In the rural areas, the Rural Electrification Board, REB, could supply barely half of the total demand, half, that means 50%, which was around 2,400 megawatt per day. In the capital city, the demand stood at around 1,400 megawatt, that means 1,400 megawatt, while the supply amounted to 650 megawatt. You can imagine how much the supply is short. As a result, load shedding is unavoidable, cannot be avoided because of less production, less supply of electricity for the time being. It's only for some time. But situation is improving very fast. You can easily say for the time being, but we are habituated in this way. Every day we face this problem, and if you say it's for the time being, we cannot tolerate this. It's almost intolerable. So we have completed the synthesis 1. Now we go to see the objective MCQ questions, and we can discuss some words in this course. Sticky. means glued. Remain means stay. Muggy means the weather warm and moist. That means moist weather. Temperature means hotness. Humidity means moisture. Damp. Atmosphere means environment or surroundings. Concentrate means give attention to or focus. Splash means spray or sprinkle. Unbearable means awful, intolerable, agonizing. Frequent means common, regular, again and again. Authorities means executive body. Rural means rustic, pastoral or countryside. Unavoidable means obligatory, necessary. Load shedding means shortage of power supply. Impossible, that means not possible. Concentrate means pay attention. Damp means moist. Unbearable means intolerable. Production means growing. Development means improvement. Rural means pastoral. Demand means necessity, etc. Now, we are coming back to question 1. By its sequence, you have to look at it on the screen. Again, it will arrive in course of time on the screen. So we are paying attention for the passage to come. Just a minute. Choose. Question number 1. Choose the best answer from the alternatives. There are 7 MCQ questions for 7 marks. Each question carries only 1 mark. Number 1. What's the main purpose of the author of this passage? You have read the passage and find out the answer from these 4 alternatives. To make people know about the sufferings of people due to load shedding. Number B, to introduce rural Bangladesh, to show how Shohan and her sisters suffer from load shedding. Number option D, to criticize the acute shortage of electricity. We find number A to be correct. In question number 2, in rural areas, the Rural Electrification Board REB could supply barely dash of the total amount. Barely how much of the total amount? Only 50%, half of the demand. There are different options. Option number C is 50%. Question number 3. Question 3. The heat was dash. Tolerable, intolerable, enjoyable, pleasant. Which one do you suppose? The heat was intolerable, which could not be tolerated, which could not be endured any longer. Number 4, Shohan's sister could not take preparation because of dash. You know, there was no electricity in their house at that time. It was dark, quite dark all around. So it's because of load shedding. Sickness, tiredness, load shedding, laziness. Which one? You find number C. Correct. Number 5. Shohan lives in dash area. Shohan lives in rural area, hilly area, town area, city area. Which one? You know, they live in the village, in the southwest part of Bangladesh, in a village. So it is rural area. Number A is correct. Number 6, he could not sleep because of dash. Number A option, mosquito nuisance, power failure. Number C, stormy weather. Number D, rough weather. Imagine from your reading. will find answer from these four alternatives. This one, power failure, because it was because of electric shortage, supply of electric shortage or load shedding. So it is power failure. Number B. Number 7 option. Number 7, load shedding is dash. Load shedding is inevitable, evitable, avoidable, escapeable. You know, unavoidable. Answer in the passage was unavoidable. For unavoidable, there is synonym inevitable. So A number is correct. Option A is correct answer. Now we may look at the answers. On the screen, you see answer to the question number 1. Question 1, option A is correct, to make people know about the sufferings of people due to load shedding. Option 2, question 2, option C correct. 50% supply is ensured only. Number 3, load shedding was intolerable. Number 4, option C was correct. Load shedding, because of load shedding, our sister could not study. Number 5, they live in a rural area. Option A is correct. Option A. Number 6, because of power failure, they could not. They suffered. Because of power failure or load shedding. Number 7, inevitable, unavoidable or inevitable. So you have got the answers of the questions. Now look at question type C, question type 6. In exam, you find question number 6 to be make sentences using the substitution table. Question number 6, make sentences using the substitution table. It's matter of matching. It's matter of matching this part, and this part. 3 parts. Only 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. There are 4 parts in the table. Part 1, subjects. Part 2, have or has, 2 auxiliaries. Part 3, past participle of the verbs. And part 4, the next part of the predicate after the verb portion or object portion is part 4. So you have to match these 4 parts. There are possible 5 sentences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about Chernobyl disaster, the energy industries, the global petroleum consumption. Number 4, major industrial economies. Number 5, scientists who has past participle object. Chernobyl disaster, 3rd person singular number, has. The energy industries, plural number, have. Number 3, the global petroleum consumption, 3rd person singular number, has. Major industrial economies, plural number, have. Scientists, 5 number, scientists, plural number, have. Thus we may choose the option of have, has. Now we have to match taken, been, emphasized, increased, exposed, and the next part, and the retaining part, portion, next portion, remaining portion, object portion. So you will have to match it. You may take help of the answer sheet I have prepared next to it, and you will Now view. Chernobyl disaster has exposed the potential danger of nuclear energy. Number two, the energy industries have been a major factor for changing throughout history. Number three, global petroleum consumption has increased to 3 billion barrels per year. Number four, major industrial economies have taken initiatives to tap alternative energy sources. Number five, scientists have emphasized the use of renewable energy sources. So you will make sentences meaningful and usable to make appropriate ones. So you are asked to choose appropriate auxiliaries and past participle. Select a verb portion or past participle with the object portion. Object portion will match with the verb portion. So verb portion and object portion are related. Which portion match which one? Exposed means exposed relates to the danger, potential danger, and have been energy industries have been a major factor for the change throughout history. The global petroleum consumption, it has increased, we know from the passage, so has increased to what portion? To 3 billion barrels per year. Major industrial economies have taken initiatives to tap alternative energy sources because they need to continue their power. They won't like load shedding. Then their economy will fall down. Scientists have emphasized the use of renewable energy sources because scientists want us to be ready for renewable energy because of hydrocarbon getting exhausted in next decade. We have come to the last portion where homework is mentioned. It's question type 8. Question type in the exam is number 8. Write a paragraph on load shedding. Your paragraph should answer the following questions. You should write it in about 150 words or more. Maybe less than 200 words, but not less than 150 words. Otherwise, you will not get good marks. For 10 marks, you have to write more than 150 words. And you have to write a paragraph in logical coherence, and you have to write a topic sentence of the paragraph and start with developing it step by step with rhetorical devices. That means connectors, where which connectors are suitable, you will use them. Clue questions. What is load shedding? You have to explain and give definition of load shedding. Definition of load shedding and explain it. Number B, when does load shedding occur mostly? Load sheddings occur this time, that time, but mostly occur in the evening or during office hours when almost all mills industries are running because of use of so much consumption of so much load or energy power. Load shedding becomes inevitable. Number C, what are the sufferings during load shedding? You know it more than other people because you live in Dhaka city where load shedding is terrible. Almost every night load shedding takes place. Almost every day of summer you feel intolerable load shedding, sufferings of intolerable load shedding. So what are the sufferings? Think about the most common suffering, like electricity when goes off, your fan becomes off. Your fan becomes off. Can you imagine? It's a hot day of summer when temperature is almost 40 degrees Celsius and fan goes off. How can you tolerate it? Mostly intolerable. So think about for those who live in AC room, they are habituated to keep cool in their room, but because of load shedding, their room will be hot and they cannot tolerate because they are in lower temperature. Now temperature is higher and they feel intolerable. Number D, what should, there are more points of sufferings. Mills and industries cannot run. Productions come to downwards or production goes off. Think about long time load shedding. Things in your refrigerator will get rotten. How can you preserve your food in the refrigerator if electricity is absent for hours and hours? You cannot even sleep at night if there is load shedding in such a hot summer day or summer night. Number D, what should we do to solve the problem of load shedding? Dear students, we can talk about many suggestions of how to bring about a change, in the production and supply of electricity. But have you ever thought you can only imagine and give suggestions, but who will implement it? Who will implement it? The body who will implement it also tries but fails because of our short of fund. Can't we put this sector in number one problem to solve? Yes, we can. If we put most importance in this sector, electricity will never go off. In many rich countries, they have the record of no load shedding for 30 years even. Not for even a minute, their electricity goes up. We have read it from newspaper and also heard from other people who visit abroad. But I have not visited any other country rather than my own country. So I should be pleased with the condition which is prevailing in my country. Now, what can be the probable solution to the problem? Better, we can minimize the time of load shedding. We can equally distribute the time of load shedding in different areas which are less or more important is not a matter. We have to put equal importance to all citizens. Or we may bring out some rotations. We may propose some rotations of office work time and schooling time so that electricity is sufficient. Electricity becomes sufficient in rotation of office timing and school timing. And also mills and industry will run in some other time, so that we can distribute in different times for different sectors. And electricity in demand sector like mills and industry should be put in another slot of timing so that load shedding is not so lengthy for not so many hours. Thus, we can minimize load shedding. At the same time, we have to increase production of electricity. We have to be good citizens to pay income tax and pay more for electricity so that we can ensure more fund for production of electricity, and it becomes easier for life to enjoy, for us to enjoy continuous without any disruption, without any load shedding. We may enjoy electricity without any interruption, without any disruption of supply. We would like to enjoy it continuously. So now I ask you to submit your homework through my email number, and I have given it to you. I now revise for your better viewing which part you have not seen well. You will see it for yourself for the last time to view it well. We have come to the finishing time. Now I ask all the students to read the text again with more attention, paying more attention, so that you can find which data was important for your answering of the questions. You have to go through the passage again. You have to identify difficult words and write their synonyms on your script. You have to know what is MW, megawatt, what is REB, Rural Electrification Board, and thus you will make more questions for better preparation. You will make answer like this way, and you will have to make sentences from the table, and it's also prepared for you. Now homework, and you will submit your homework at the email address ataur7084@gmail.com. This is my email address, and I suppose my students will work from home during this COVID-19 and will progress from home-based learning and from internet or from online classworks. So I say goodbye to all my students and bye for the next day. See you again. Bye.